Hi, everybody, this is Freddy Sheinfeld. So I want to show you a demo that I did for Pulsesetter music. And the idea is to show you how to compose a demo really quick. So what happened here is that I had to compose a quick demo for a new product that we released this week. It's called REVERXIS. It's right here. It's a library with a lot of reverse guitars. Pulses, pads, different kind of loops, and but I had very little time to compose this. I was super busy with other projects, and I really wanted to make something for this library. So what I did is I decided to make it in just 3 hours. Just let's try to do this as much as you can. Just taking 3 hours to do the whole thing. For me, that's really quick for this kind of demos. It's about I guess 2 minutes demo, and it has a lot of orchestral stuff. It's kind of almost like an epic trailer, small epic trailer, I would say. And you also want to showcase the sounds that the company is selling, right? You want people to hear what you can do with it, and you want to be able to show those sounds in the context of music that you make. So that's tricky because you have to go through the library. You have to choose cool sounds, and that takes a lot of time. So the way I work when I have a deadline like this, that's what I want to talk a little bit about this one. It's kind of similar to the way that I work if I have to compose music for video and I have very little time. So what I do is I really focus on the structure first. So I go from big to small. But before I start talking too much about it, let me just play you the demo so you can hear it. So here we go. So that's it. It's pretty simple. It's kind of epic, in a big orchestral setting. But it shows a little bit of what you can do with the library, and it sounds like something that I would do for a project. So how do I do this? Like I was saying, the first thing is the structure. So you have to think what your music needs to accomplish. You have to make sure that it works. So if I'm making a demo for a sample library where the company wants to sell these samples, you have to work. You have to feature them. You have to sound cool. You have to sound like something that people want to buy, right? Same thing if you're composing for picture or video film. You have to make the video work, you have to make the drama work. So it doesn't matter if you think your music is awesome. It has to work for picture. It have to work. You have to have a dramatic intention, and then the music can be cool. So same thing here. So how you do that? So for me, it's a matter of having a plan. You need a very very well thought plan, and that means having a structure, right? So the way that I did this first, I went through the library. I found a few sounds that I like, music sounds that kind of inspires me. That I listen to them, and I start hearing music already. Stuff that you play and you're already composing. And I didn't want to spend too much time looking for sounds. As soon as I got a bunch like this, I started composing already with these sounds. So the first thing I did in this case was just to have a whole structure where I knew where I was starting, when I was going to the middle, and how I was ending, and also making sure that the sounds that I'm using are featured and make sense. So what happens when you're making a demo for this kind of situation, you need what is called a dress demo and a naked demo. Dress demo is what I just played, which is the whole thing. It includes the samples that the library is featuring, but it also includes your own samples. The orchestral stuff, everything else. And that's just to show you how you would use it in real life, because in real life, you always use a combination of many samples, but at the same time you need what is called a naked demo, which is only the sounds of that library that you guys are selling, because you need to listen to it. People want to hear, okay, so how does it sound? How does it sound? So the way that I make that work, at least for me, is I actually start the music with the library. I don't even touch the orchestra or my regular palette. I just start messing with the library. I try to get a whole thing going on only with the sounds from this library. This library is a little bit tricky because it's it has a very particular sound. So to make it work, I also included some pianos, so I could have a little more melodic content. In addition to the loops and the pads that are already there. So I kind of use the piano together with all these instruments to make the structure of the composition. So the structure, the way I usually make these demos is I do an introduction. That introduction usually features the sample library. I'm not using a lot of stuff here from my own palette. Maybe like one strings, doubling, whatever stuff is going on with the REVERXIS. Then I go to the section A. I do kind of a A-B structure kind of thing where I play a theme. That's gonna be my main theme. I feature the library here, and I'm playing the theme on the piano. So if you listen to only REVERXIS and the pianos, this is what you get right here. Right. So that's the theme. It's very simple. So just piano and on REVERXIS. So that's another thing. As far as the melody, I don't try to overcomplicate it because I want to do it quick. So I go for something very conservative. This is just chord notes. Just playing the fifth of whatever chords I'm playing is super simple. I have a little thing at the end, so it has a little bit of personality, but it's very 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 simple. Which somehow it kind of worked pretty well for this demo. So that's another thing. Same with the harmony. I don't try to go too complicated. I do the standard trailer kind of progression. And I try to rely more on the colors, on the sounds of the library. So once I have my A theme, I go to the B section, which is just showing a little bit other ideas, and that happens right here. So it's a little bit of a different motif, and that motif is played by REVERXIS. Is this here? Actually, sorry, right here. It's this block here, I think. Oh, sorry, this loop. So that's a kind of counter theme going on. Okay, then I stop, and then I'm going to the ending of the piece, which is the A section again, but now played a little bit differently and including some elements of the introduction and some elements of the B section. So first time around we just play the sequence again, the same melody with a little bit of different harmony, more epic with more strings, choirs. Then I go to another repetition, and now I'm also playing the B section a little bit. Idea here, and I go bigger. I include some more strings. I have the full melody playing here. So this is. Let me just play you the strings so you can hear what's going on. There's some brasses here too, just to make it a little epic. Very, very simple. Just playing chords, pads. And I have a choir, very simple choir too. The melody is just chords, and then melodic line doubling the main theme, just to make it a little more dramatic. This here. And of course the percussion. Also very simple, it's just a pulse going on, percussive pulse. Then some epic hits, and that's pretty much it. And then we have a nice tail where I use one of the loops here. And that's it. That way, if you listen to the naked version, I won't make you listen to the thing again, but you can actually find it on the SoundCloud demo. But if you listen to it, you can notice that it kind of works by itself. I could just release it like that. Maybe adding the piano would help a lot. But even without the piano, you have kind of a interesting piece that could work as a demo. And that's cool, because then people can hear. Okay, yeah, I hear how it works, and it also how it works when you add an orchestra or whatever else you want to add to it. So that's it. I would say the main thing is just constraining yourself to a few elements. My palette is super small here for an epic thing. It's just all this is the REVERXIS stuff. Then I have pianos. It's just just different combinations of piano for different effects. And then I have a couple of samples here, and then my strings, very simple. A bit of brasses, just a couple of patches, and then a bit of percussion, and that's it. That's pretty much it. So that's it. What else is important? Regarding the structure is you definitely need to go from big to small. Before I started composing with the orchestra, I already have the whole thing almost to the end, where I have all the REVERXIS sounds plus the piano theme. So then I just have to add colors, and and that's really cool when you're doing this kind of demos or for any kind of project, because once you have a nice structure going on, you don't have to worry about you won't stress whether or not the piece is working, because you know already that it's working. Whatever it needs to do is doing it. If you're doing a dramatic thing, you already have that on your draft, Same here. If you showcasing the library, you're already doing that with your naked version of it. So whatever you add now is just extra. So you can spend a little bit more time with it and have fun, and and it's it's a little bit more liberating in a way. Again, when you compose this way, you're kind of limiting yourself. You might not go to different places that you could have been if you compose, if you take a different approach. But it is safe, and sometimes, because of that freedom that you have orchestrating, you come up with really cool stuff. I would say some of my best pieces happen when I don't have this constraint and I just experiment a lot. I spend hours on four measures that I might not even use later on, just because I had time, and then I end up doing something that I had no idea that was gonna work. But this way is a little more realistic when you have deadlines, and you have a very, very short deadline. It's a must. So that's it. I hope that wasn't too much talking. Well, I know it was too much talking, but let me know if you have any questions, and I try to make more videos more often, I promise. Thank you.